Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thanks so much again for joining me here. I hope you are having an amazing day, had a great weekend. We're taking a look here again at AVAX. Congratulations and you're welcome. To those who said thank you for that entry at about 28.30. It's unfortunate my little alert never triggered here at 28.29. So either way you look at it, awesome stuff, bounced perfectly off that 0.618 fib level. It doesn't always work out this exact way. I mean, a secondary entry would be that 27.50, 27.60, as I mentioned, as a good possible consideration based on that being a local high. But either way you look at it here, AVAX is on track to do very, very well. You just got to keep in mind it's pulling back. It's one of the more overextended coins here in the last week's worth of trading, or 2 or 3 days worth of trading rather. Last weekend was very good for it. And with Bitcoin pulling back, we're seeing coins that are super strong like SUI and AVAX essentially pulling back. It's almost stronger than the majority of the market. They didn't pump very well, and most of that is because they've already pre-pumped, if you will. Okay, so again, when that happens, it's important to recognize the correlation between Bitcoin and the altcoins that we're looking at. So that is kind of just a thing, right? Just understand that's part of what's going on here. But either way you look at it, let's quickly look at liquidation levels first, kind of see where we're at. And to anyone who's been hitting the like button on all my videos, thank you so much again for doing that. Do not forget to hit that every time, just so we can get this in front of more people. Stop getting those moon boys all those views because they keep saying everything is going straight up. Now, parabolic behavior, it happens occasionally, folks, but we just got to be realistic. There's still a ton of resistance ahead of us, including Bitcoin. It's not in all-time high territory. There's no reason to say those things. Just please use some logic and stop using nonsense to make your trades. So you're going to get lucky a few times when you just kind of jump in willy-nilly. Oh, I got a good feeling about this. And then, trust me, the law of averages will work out not in your best interest if you do that, okay? Anyways, what we do here kind of increases the odds of success. That's all there is to it. It's not a foolproof plan, but it does make things better. Quickly looking here at $30, we can see there's the next area of liquidation for AVAX. That's just above the local high when we hit that just earlier today / yesterday. Okay, again, this is the last 7 days worth of trading, so we can see most people trying to short this coin got destroyed. And now right now some shorts are in profit, but we got a lot of volume here at about $28. So just keep in mind that low $28 mark could actually be the next potential reality for us, just based on natural capitulation and AVAX having already been profitable prior to everything else being profitable. Okay, again, it's a weird thing when that happens, but I've noticed for the most part, super strong coins will start to pull back in light of the fact the whole entire market is absorbing that market, that Bitcoin dominance. And essentially the price of Bitcoin going up, it's a weird, strange curve. Quickly to note here, though, we can see liquidation upwards of $32, or 31, 32.10, somewhere in that range. The key takeaway here is that from a macro perspective, there's more liquidation, the price should continue higher. But on a smaller term time frame, we could very well see $28 happen first. Just know that's a possibility. I don't think the charts are reflecting that, but I just want you to know that's there. Same thing here with the delta here. As it's starting to taper off is very standard. Bitcoin had a very, very high delta this morning. And again, it's starting to pull back. But if you see here, oh no, sorry, that is Solana. There we go, Bitcoin. Right there, about 8 billion in liquidation delta. That's way too high. It's exactly why we're seeing the price pull back from that 66 level to that 65.5. I don't think we're going to see too much of a pullback or a cool down from Bitcoin, but if we do, just know AVAX will probably respond in kind. And it's very normal and natural to have too much liquidation and the price start to pull back because of it. We can see open interest, a lot of open interest at the $29 and $28.50 range, but prior to that, about $26.50. So we got a bit of a gap there. We do lose that local low of $28. We could see the price continue to run, but I don't think that's probable at this point, and I'll explain why. So let's quickly look at the weekly, work our way down. This being the end of the week, or beginning of the week rather, we want to kind of see what happened last week. And we can see here so far, we're off to a pretty glorious start. Right? Again, we got a nice little doji candle forming there. Last week was a very, very good week, a bullish engulfing candle, letting us know we have good momentum and likely continuation further up. We are still below some important moving averages, the 50 and the 200. That's right at $33. So just know we break through this little resistance. 33 should pose somewhat of a hold, if you will, or just kind of a local cap. Again, a lot of that hinges on the fact that we had a previous resistance at 32.80, 33 roughly. So that little area there, we're going to see some confluence. So let's go ahead and put this on the charts. Kind of recognize that as a weekly candlestick closure, somewhat of a resistance for us if we break the threshold of $31. Hypothetically, a short in the $33 range would make sense. but that's a very, very distant thought. I'm not just going to short right now in the blind when that happens. I'm just saying that in general, we'll probably see some resistance there initially, and the price will retrace a little bit. Or the inverse applies too, where we make a run towards that level too, right? So either way you look at it, we're still in a very good continuation scenario here. MACD is super strong. We are right there above 50 on the RSI, generally construed as breaking a resistance and in a strong position. Money flow index is above the RSI. That's super important. Maintaining the simple fact that this coin is viewed as underbought and there's more money flowing in to reinforce that support. So I love when I see the MFI above the RSI. It's generally a good sign. Take a look here at the daily. This is kind of just the standard stuff here. We got a fair value gap as low as 26.50. As I mentioned before, we lose 28. We could see a wick down to that level just to sweep those that extra level liquidation, or again to pull back to that previous open interest area. We can recognize here as well though, strong. We're over 50 on the RSI, moving towards 70. Money flow index, while it's below, it's still gaining, and we can see the MACD and the stochastic RSI swinging upwards. These are all things you want to buy into. You do not short into them. Okay, 4-hour time frame. Similar scenario here. We're honoring our ascending trend here based on the 20-day SMA. There's no reason to consider this coin as bearish at all, even though there is liquidation on the downside, a slightly larger amount in the last 7 days. That doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen. We got a lot of support in this range, and we take a look here at the point of control, just say roughly ever since mid-September. We can see the most amount of confluence there at 27.50. That's another reason why I have like an alert here, somewhat egregious, but I do have an alert there in case the price came down to that level. That would be a consideration to buy and to go long. To me, that seems a lot more sensible than taking a long right now. That's just me personally. I don't like to try to long the top, but once more, I think you're going to find more statistical benefit or higher increased odds of success going long versus short right now. We are starting to see RSI taper off, which is actually good. This is very natural. We want to see this pulling back closer to 50, stochastic pulling back, MACD diverging. These are all signs here on the 4-hour time frame minus the moving averages, letting us know we're hitting our tentative top and that capitulation is inevitable, right? We should see a pullback to that $27 to $28 mark. That's what this is telling us. But we combine that with the macro, it's kind of conflicting, right? The macro is looking pretty strong. We take a look at the hourly here. We are in a position right now where we still have some green lights to leave your long position open. Okay, pretty much everything's telling us we're still good to go. So I would not consider selling just yet. Adjust your stop loss higher. If you haven't secured profits on a long position, you're probably doing it wrong. You got to take some kind of profits. Give you perspective, we secured profits on a Solana long, 27%, 33% on your protocol. Those are 5x leverage trades. And then, of course, we got a Bitcoin short, which was a little higher risk. But, of course, I disclosed that. And that was from 63.4 to 62,000. So we got in, got out. Bob's your uncle. The price took off from there. So very, very good situation overall. Doesn't always work out that perfect, but thankfully things have been working out favorably. So I would just, again, don't get too optimistic at this point. I think Bitcoin is due to correct itself. I think some altcoins will surge, but some will start to cool off. The ones that are going to cool off are the ones that have already pre-pumped. AVAX, SUI, Aptos. There's a handful of other ones that I'll cover here soon, of course, but they're due to correct naturally. This is very standard stuff. All right, so I'll go ahead and post our playout chart on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. I'll get the updated fib levels here for us and kind of go from there. I hope you learned something today. If you want to become a better trader, again, cryptocash.tech is a site linked down below. If you want to have a phenomenal exchange, you haven't yet tried Bitunix. Folks, these guys got an awesome deposit bonus this month, but more importantly, no KYC VPN. They're a phenomenal exchange. Highly recommend utilizing them. Awesome. All right, thanks again for your time, folks. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.